Do what you love or love what you do. This is Mayur Bardolia, a success coach, author, and facilitator from North Star Angel Coaching and Spiritual Solutions. I feel blessed and fortunate to share tools, ideas, and insights that can positively impact your life. Welcome to the video. Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt drained doing something you know you have to do? Not because it is hard, but because your heart is just not in it. You just don't love it or mildly dislike it. And at the same time, you may worry that if you only follow what you enjoy doing, follow what you love doing, you might start avoiding many important parts of life. It is like deciding to eat only dessert every meal. No vegetables, no rice, no bread. It sounds fun for a day, but soon your body feels weak. You miss the steady energy that simple, boring food gives you. That is the same with work and daily tasks. You cannot skip the vegetables of life. That feeling of being stuck between what you want and what you must do. That feeling of being stuck between duty and desire. And that is what we will fix today. I will show you a simple shift. It is not about quitting everything you dislike. It is about learning to love what you already do so you can finally do more of what you truly love. No hype, just a practical balance. Let me begin with a simple picture. Imagine listening to music with only of your favorite tune, favorite notes, favorite rhythm. No pauses, no variation, no contrast. It sounds good for a moment, but soon it feels flat. Life works the same way. And here's the problem many of us face. You hear people say, do what you love all the time. So you try, but then life throws you things you do not love. For example, taking out the trash, doing your taxes, paying bills, organizing papers, thinking about your goals, designing strategies, or writing or handling a boring report at work. Sometimes attending 3 hours long meeting about budget at your workplace. And suddenly you feel like a failure, like you're doing life wrong. So I got two lines in front of you on this board. Do what you love and love what you do. And here is what I learn and what I teach. You need both sides. Think of it like breathing. You cannot only breathe in or you will burst. You cannot only breathe out or you will collapse. Breathing in is like doing what you love. It fills you with energy, flow, and ease. But breathing out is like loving what you do. It lets you handle the ordinary, the boring, the necessary tasks without losing your peace. Most people focus only on the first line. They say, I just want to do what I love. That part matters, no doubt about that. I agree. If you never do what you love, your energy drops. Work feels heavy. You feel disconnected. And let me write this. Love creates energy. Okay? Love creates energy. When you do what you love, your energy grows. You find flow. Things feel graceful. Your dreams show up faster. But that is good thing. But here's the reality check. You live on a planet Earth, and the Earth runs on contrast. There's light that is dark. There's fun is boring, desirable and necessary. Planet Earth is a place of contrast, of polarity, which is a fancy way of saying not everything that needs doing is going to be something you enjoy. Okay. Not everything that needs doing is going to be something you enjoy. If everyone only did what they loved, nobody would take out the rubbish. Nobody would sit through 3 hour long budget meeting. Nobody would do the goal planning. Nobody would organize papers. Nobody would pay the bills. And nobody would build train tracks and buildings. Nobody would ever raise children. Those are the basic needs of modern life. Nobody would do the boring, unglamorous, behind the scenes work that actually holds everything together. Somebody has to do it. And often that somebody is you. So, what do you do with the things you must do? When you do what you enjoy, you feel flow. Things move easily. Okay? I get it. But now let me write something else. Some must, okay, shoulds, and responsibilities. Sorry, I'm just trying to squeeze in some this word, okay? Let me explain this. These are the parts of life you cannot fully avoid. Paying bills, doing routine work, doing the household chores, keeping your commitments, handling things you did not choose. Now, here is where most people struggle. They resist this. They say, I do not like this. I should not have done, have to do this. But resisting does not remove the task. It only adds weight. Let me give you a simple analogy. Imagine carrying a bag. A bag has some weight, and that is normal. Now imagine complaining about the bag while carrying it. The bag did not get heavier, but your experience did. And that is what resistance does. Let me write this clearly. Task stay the same. Task stays the same, but experiences change. When you resist, the same task feels heavier. When you accept it, the task becomes lighter. So instead of resisting it, you accept it. And I'll explain more in detail. So, what do you do with all the things you must do, but not necessarily you love? And here's the shift: you learn to love doing them. You need to learn to love doing them. Instead of saying, I have to do this, you start saying, I'm choosing to handle this. Same work, different experience. And this is where the second line comes in: love what you do. You learn to love them, not in a fake, happy, clappy way, but in a practical way. Think of it like this: a professional marathon runner does not love every single kilometer of the race. Some kilometers are painful, boring, or just flat. But they have decided to love the process of running. So even the bad kilometers belong to something bigger than they care about. They think of marathon winning. That reframe changes everything. That is loving what you do. You embrace, you embrace. And that choice lifts you and you ascend. Okay? You ascend. You do not let the must, shoulds steal your mind. Don't fake it. Not gritting your teeth, I gotta do it, and surviving. Actually, find a way to make peace with them, to embrace them. Here is how this shows up in real life. You find a job or business you really enjoy. That is doing what you love. But then difficulty shows up. A tough boss, a few bad customers, a few setbacks in the product or service, a boring project. If you run away at the first sign of hard work, you never grow. Instead, you love what you do. You stay, you learn, you master it. Same with a partner. You find someone right for you that is doing what you love. But then disagreement happens. And if you leave immediately, you lose something precious. Instead, you love what you do. You work through it. Same with learning a skill. You pick something exciting that is doing what you love, right? But then comes the repetitive practice. Because whenever you want to learn, you have to do something for some time. You have to do it repeatedly. That drills. Sometimes you also pass through mistakes. You fail sometimes. You may not get it right all the time. You love what you do. You stick with it until you master it. Loving what you do does not mean you suddenly enjoy everything. It means you stop fighting with what is already part of your life. When you resist responsibilities, you lose energy. When you accept, embrace, and engage, you move through them faster and with less stress. And something interesting happens. When you handle responsibilities well, you create more space for what you love. So these must, shoulds are not problems. These responsibilities are not problems. They are a structure that supports your life. Now let me bring both parts together. Do what you love builds energy. Love what you do, protect that energy. The secret is not to avoid difficulty. The secret is to stop letting difficulty dictate your inner state. When you resist them and push back against the necessary but uncomfortable parts of your life, you don't rise above them. You sink. You get heavier, more frustrated, more tired. But when you embrace, accept, and engage and say, all right, this is part of the deal. This is part of the necessary work. And I'm going to do it fully and well. Let me just try it. And something shifts. You stop being a victim of your circumstances. You become the person who handles things. And that person gets to do more of what they love, not less. That is the balance. And in life, almost all the time, you have to do the boring things throughout your life. That's boring. But still, somebody has to do it, and maybe somebody is you. Do what you love fills your tank with energy. But love what you do to keep your tank from leaking. Let me give you simple examples. Find work you enjoy, but do not walk away when it becomes difficult. Choose a partner you value, but do not leave at the first discomfort or difficult conversation. Pick something you want to learn, but stay with it long enough to improve. It is like planting a tree, and choosing the seed matters, but watering it daily matters just as much. And let me give you a quick summary of what we just covered. So you walk away with something clear. First, doing what you love gives you energy, flow, direction, and faster results. Second, loving what you do helps you handle the necessary tasks without losing your peace. It helps you handle responsibilities without resistance. And third, when you embrace the must and shoulds and all responsibilities, you ascend, you rise up. But when you resist them, you descend. And fourth, this balance applies to work, relationship, and any learning. You do not quit at the first sign of hard work. When you balance this, you reduce stress and increase flow. Success comes from working with life, not fighting it. Now, let me guide you through simple steps. First, identify one area where you are not doing what you love. Pick one task you really do not enjoy. It could be doing the cleaning work, writing a report, paying the bills, organizing papers, designing the strategies for an important phone call you have been avoiding. Ask yourself, what small shift can bring more interest? You do not need a big change. Start small. Even a small adjustment can bring back energy. Next, identify one responsibility you usually resist. So, find out responsibility you resist. Notice your reaction to it. Just awareness of that helps you reduce unnecessary struggle. When you see the resistance clearly and accept it, it starts to loosen. Whatever you resist, it will persist. So do not resist, accept it. Then practicing doing the task with acceptance. Stay present while doing it. Focus on finishing it instead of resisting it. Think of it as walking rather than dragging your feet. And after that, create a simple balance each day. Do one thing you enjoy and complete one responsibility with ease. Don't let emotion take over your mind. It's like breathing in, it feels good, it's required. And you breathe out, you lose, still required. Both are needed. And finally, stay consistent. Balance grows through repetition, not through one perfect day. Like brushing your teeth or watering a plant, small daily care makes the difference. You do not need a perfect life. You need a balanced approach. Do what you love to stay energized, and love what you do to stay steady. Right? Do what you love to stay energized, and love what you do to stay steady. And when both come together, life feels aligned instead of forced. That is it. The small shift changes everything. You are not pretending to love the task forever. You are just opening the door to peace and happiness. Try it and let me know how it goes. If you're not sure how to do it or get stuck, reach out to me. I can help you every step of the way and teach you new tools that work for you. Maybe you have something you want to work on. Maybe it's about your health, job, responsibilities, money, or beliefs. I can help with these things in personal one on one coaching sessions. To book a coaching session with me, go to northstarangel.com/coaching. We can meet online, by email, or in person. If this video helped you, please share it with someone who needs it. Please share it far and wide. I would also love to hear from you. Your story matters to me. My name is Mayur Bardolia. a success coach at North Star Angel Coaching and Spiritual Solutions. If you want to book a coaching session, organize a workshop, or invite me to speak, either online or in person, email me at contact@northstarangel.com. Thank you for being here. I'm wishing you the best. I hope good things come your way. Have a nice day.